Yes, people. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's well on this wonderful Wednesday evening. Honestly, bro, I didn't realize you guys were playing midweek because we got knocked out by West Ham. And I was like, yeah, forget about the League Cup. The moment you're out, you're like, forget about it, right? But you guys are playing the League Cup today. And it's like, no better time to speak to Husam than today because, of course, it's a busy week for you ahead of the big game and tonight. So might as well start from there. How you feeling today, bro, going into that game against West Ham?
I'm good. I'm good. Alhamdulillah. Thanks for having me. Big up everyone watching us now or on the replay. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. We back on Egal Talks Football. And yeah, we're here to preview the big game. The thing is, for me, I've got a game today against West Ham as well. So, I kind of have to bypass whatever happens if you're watching this right now on the replay, like maybe a day later or stuff. I kind of have to just bypass what happened in the game today. So I do not know the result of the Liverpool West Ham game yet, but today's game will be a good indicator, for what's going to happen in the game as well. Maybe how seriously we're taking today's game, how seriously Klopp takes today's game, stuff like that. All that stuff matters, of course. So we will see what
your lineup be.
That's what I'm waiting to find out. I'm waiting to find out how strong will our lineup be, because if the lineup's like a really strong lineup or not, the stuff like that, like it all matters. So I'm interested to see just as much as you are how strong our lineup will be, because given the fact that we're kind of we're still fighting for the league despite what happened, in the latest game. We still are fighting for the league. So if we are fighting for the league, then I don't know how seriously Klopp will take this competition, but he has been taking cup competitions really seriously, as you guys probably saw with like our Europa League lineups and stuff. It's not like he's playing all the bench players. There are players from the starting 11 who do play, so there are players who are out there, from the teams that you'd expect to start. Like Alisson has even played in the Europa League, Salah, Szoboszlai, every one of them. So look, I expect us to take it seriously, but I don't know how seriously though. This is the thing. This is why I have to wait for the lineup. But I doubt Klopp is going to take it not seriously at all and bench everyone and stuff. Like, I don't think that's going to be the scenario. If you
will, your spine play like Salah, Alisson, Van Dijk, Szoboszlai? Would you play the spine?
I mean, that's the thing. What I'm trying to find out today, given the fact that we are, factually speaking, like if it is two games. So there's two games in the semi-final, and then there is the final. So we are factually 4 games away from a trophy. So I doubt Klopp will take it like not serious at all. Like I still think there will be an element of seriousness. Now, how serious is the question? That's the ultimate question right there. And today's lineup will tell. Now, given the fact that there are also 2 games next week, there will be players who are rested. 100% there will be players that are rested. Who will be rested is the question. How will we rest players is also the question. So, it really, today's lineup is going to be very indicative of how serious we take this competition. Because also remember, West Ham, our opponent today, also play in Europe. So it's not like West Ham aren't in Europe. West Ham are in the Europa League this season. And also West Ham in their group stages have taken the Europa League quite seriously, to be honest with you. So I know David Moyes might not rest as much players, but definitely a couple of players will be rested, even maybe from West Ham's perspective. So,
but West Ham have a tough game also. They play Manchester United and Arsenal right after, back to back. So both teams kind of have tough games. So that's why it's very interesting to see what happens. Honestly, if you guys do play a weakened side and no Van Dijk, no Alisson, no Salah, I expect you guys to lose. But what do you expect from because you can't tell the lineup, what do you expect? Like,
yeah, but here's the thing, it also depends on West Ham. So if West Ham are not playing their stars, like West Ham without Paqueta, without Kudus, without Bowen, like you'd also expect even a rested. So let's say both clubs rest players. Let's say Liverpool rest and West Ham rest. If Liverpool rest and West Ham rest, then we win, because like West Ham's B side, if you would like, isn't as strong as our B side. So what do I expect? I expect a mixture. I expect, for example, a player like Gomez to play. I expect maybe a player like an Endo to play. I expect, maybe a good mixture. Nunez, I expect maybe starts today, possibly Diaz, even because also there are a couple of players in our team that are also out of form, so that we have to keep that in mind. It's not simply rest full stop. There are players, that also are out of form. Like Nunez
Who are
ain't
the out
scored
of form?
since August. I think Diaz ain't scored a goal in a while as well. So there are many players who need to pick up form too.
Okay, so what happened to Diaz? What happened to Darwin Nunez? Because Diaz, when he came in, he was amazing for you guys that first season when you were going for the quad. Darwin Nunez, beginning of the season, he was coming on as a substitute, making a big difference for you guys. Is it that Darwin Nunez is maybe not starter caliber, and is it that Luis Diaz didn't have so much pressure on him, so it was a lot easier for him to get into the team back then? And now that there's pressure on him, he's not performing well.
I think with Darwin Nunez, you've known me a long time, so you already know my opinion on him before he even came. I wasn't the biggest fan of us signing a Darwin Nunez. I wasn't the biggest fan of us having him, like as our main guy. Had he came in, let's say, 2 years before, where we had a established side, if you would like, with Firmino, with Mane, with Salah, and he didn't have that much pressure on him. Maybe the price tag was a bit less. Maybe the pressure wouldn't have gotten to him so much. But Darwin Nunez, the season started, he didn't start the first game. The game against Newcastle, he kind of came off the bench, scored twice. We're like, okay, maybe Nunez will kick on. He even scored a goal against Aston Villa. He scored in the Europa League. So we're like, okay, maybe Darwin Nunez is waking up this season. But in the last 600 minutes he's played, I believe the last 10 games or so, he has not scored a goal. He's went 10 games without a goal. It's kind of like, there is no excuse for any striker to go 10 entire games without a goal. So that's the ultimate reality. And with Luis Diaz, I think Luis Diaz has been even worse than Nunez this season. The reality is, ever since that injury he sustained, I think it was in the Arsenal game, actually, Thomas Partey injured him. Ever since that injury, he ain't been the same player. But there are stuff I cannot... Hello, camera?
Yeah.
Anyway, there are stuff I cannot excuse, like him not being able to dribble past Anthony. In the game against Manchester United, you didn't dribble past Dalot. Okay, no problem. He's the fullback. A fullback can pocket anyone on any given day. But the fact he couldn't even get past Anthony, he couldn't create anything for us. He couldn't give us any chances. He couldn't do any of that. This is where my problem lies. My problem is where essentially, like, you can't even create. Because here's the thing. Luis Diaz's strength is supposed to be dribbling. And the reality is he can't even dribble anymore. He can't even create anymore. It's gotten to the stage now where when I made my team for Arsenal, when I made my team for Arsenal this Saturday, I dropped both Diaz and Nunez. Like, both of them are just having stinkers. And I changed kind of the entire way we play football, because the game against Manchester United, I thought Nunez and Diaz were dreadful. Szoboszlai was dreadful. So it's just, it wasn't good for us at all what happened in those games, specifically from an offensive perspective. Defensively, funnily enough, if you told me about this game 3 months ago, I would have said it would be attack versus defense, the Liverpool Arsenal game. Low-key now it's like defense versus defense, because it's the two strongest defenses. Our attacks ain't really like banging like that. I know Martinelli's on like 2 goals. Diaz is on like 3 goals and stuff. Jesus just started scoring goals now. It's just like our forward line, kind of in a similar situation with you guys as well. Obviously, Salah is much better than Saka, but he's kind of, if Saka doesn't bang, you find it difficult for your front three. Same for us. So that's kind of what's happening. If Salah doesn't really bang at Liverpool, then it just doesn't work out. And
you know what? Before we go any further, I just need to talk about Salah, bro.
Yes.
Are people kind of overdoing it? Because I don't know if you've seen, Terry had a conversation with Lee Gunnar. You had the guy on Anfield agenda. People are saying Mo Salah is finished. They're saying he needs to be sold. They're saying he's never going to be able to carry you guys to a league title this season. You need to move on from him. I'm hearing some ridiculous takes about Mo Salah. What do you think about those takes when people say those things?
I mean, the guy from Anfield agenda, Craig, I've got no problem with him. He even invited me on a show, so like, it's not like me and him have beef or anything, but that's an absolutely ridiculous opinion. Lee Gunnar is 100% wrong as well about Mo Salah. The reality is, eye test does lie, because the video, the Craig started his video by saying eye test doesn't lie. No, and eye test does lie, because eye test will tell you Hatem Ben Arfa is the best winger in Premier League history. The eye test will tell you Adel Tarabt is one of the greatest midfielders we've ever seen, because if I show you an Adel Tarabt compilation, you'll be like, what the hell have we just seen? And stats do not lie. I'm not a statistician. I believe we need to use both stats and eye test. Statistically speaking, factually speaking, the player with the most big chances created in the entire league is Mo Salah. The guy, not chances created because that's a Fugazi stat. Big chances created, Mo Salah. The guy with the most assists in the league is also Mo Salah. The second highest goal scorer in the league is also Mo Salah. You look at the game against Manchester United, I thought he was poor in the first half. Second half, he was much better. And even when you look at that game, the most dangerous chance was created by him for Nunez and Diaz, where Nunez just kept running. Diaz didn't score, and Nunez just stopped running towards the ball. Mo Salah for me is one of the best players, if not the best player in the league, the best forward in the league by far. And I will not speak about selling him or whatever when the others are letting him down. I feel like, by the way, if Darwin Nunez just scored the clear-cut goal-scoring opportunities that Salah created for him, he'd be on 9-10 goals himself. And Mo Salah would be like on no exaggeration 12-13 assists because he's created so many big chances. So the reality is, if you look at this Liverpool forward line, this is the factual information. Luiz Diaz got 3 goals this Premier League season. Darwin Nunez got 4 goals. Gakpo got 2 goals. Jota got 4 goals. So if I'm looking at anyone, you put any combination of those 3 added up together, that's still less goals than Mo Salah. So I cannot look at him as the reason why we're in this position.
Okay, so there's 2 conversations we need to have, but before we do that, big up everybody in the comment section. Do me a favor, hit that like button right now. We see Staffy trolling you over your predictions over Manchester United. Big up to Super Chat here saying, Egal, let's beat Liverpool and win the EPL 3-0 Arsenal. If we get a 3-0 performance at Anfield, everyone's going to say Arsenal are favorites to win the league. I feel like it's not only a mental hurdle against Liverpool, it's basically like us beating Liverpool signifies that we've made a massive strides and improvements from last season. Not only offensively, but defensively. Because I felt like offensively, we were good last season. Defensively is what let us down at the end of the season. So if we come to Anfield and we beat you guys, not only will it be Mikel Arteta's first win at Anfield as a manager, but it could potentially be his first ever. I don't think he ever beat you with Everton or Arsenal. Wait.
Yeah, he only had 1 win against us, and that's Everton at Goodison when he was a player, 2-0, 2010. And at Arsenal, I don't know if he was the manager in 1920 after we won the league. I think Reece Nelson scored that game and Lacazette. I could be mistaken. You guys won 2-1.
No, we beat you guys at the Emirates, but when he was manager. But
was
we never
that
beat you.
Or Arteta?
Arteta.
Okay,
but we never beat you at your ground since he was in the midfield and Santi Cazorla scored the penalty and Podolski scored.
Yeah, the 2-0 game. I still remember the 2-0 game. Yep.
We're gonna get into all of that. Big up to Carefree Lewis in the chat. Also, big up. There's one more comment. Someone said, "Who's the favorites?" Surely we're not the favorites going to Anfield.
Arsenal are the favorites, of course. Arsenal are favorites. Arsenal are top of the league. This is the reality. I'm not doing a Hamza. I'm just saying the truth. Arsenal are top of the league right now. So, of course, if you're top of the league, you go to any game as the favorite. So this is just how it goes, to be honest with you. I'm not trying to play the underdog, but we are the underdog in this game. Not by much, but like 48-52 type thing, you know. But look, if Arsenal are top of the league, then definitely they're the favorite. If we played Arsenal and we were top of the league this Saturday, then we'd be favorite because the pressure is always on the club that's top of the league to keep it going. So yeah, this is what I'd say.
I can see your people are jumping over. Big up, Greg. Let's and big up Skills also. Let's get into this conversation. Husam, you didn't expect this conversation. I'm kind of bringing it up to you last minute because I seen some tweets about it. But do you remember this video? Don't rate him to the level.
Which?
Ivan Toney's video. Link to Ivan Toney. I think he'd be the perfect Roberto Firmino replacement.
No way.
You guys are laughing.
What? No.
I remember you guys ridiculed me, laughed at me. Were saying you even went on record and to say something. Looking back at it, just 1 second. Can you hear it?
I like Toney. I like him.
You guys are laughing, but when it comes to technical ability, passing, when it comes to actual link up, everything.
Toney does not have that Firmino pass in his locker. He doesn't, or that link up.
Like you're getting upset, Husam. Wallahi, I genuinely would take him at Arsenal over Gabriel Jesus.
Hang on.
You're Arsenal. We're Liverpool, bro. We ain't the same. Don't apply your standards to me. I'm trying to win Prem. I'm trying to win Champ. You're trying to qualify. I'm not. I want to win the thing you're trying to qualify.
You want a Roberto Firmino replacement. This is somebody who's already playing in the Premier League and is a good
Firmino don't even start. He ain't replacing Firmino. He's replacing Mane, bro.
And then that's where I ended it. But yeah, coming full circle now, bro. Let's be honest. Looking back at it, I was spitting. Wallah, you know it.
No, you were not spitting. First of all, watching old videos of myself always makes me feel good. That was such a long time ago. I was recording on my Android. You know, if you're listening right now and you want to achieve something in life, just keep going. You know, don't make excuses. Because I was recording on an Android on a stack of books, going on the terrace, going on Egal Talks Football, doing shows every day. So, you know, keep it going, you guys, man. If whatever you want to have going on in life. Second of all, with Firmino, he does not replace Firmino. And it stands true what I said in that video. We were, at the time of recording of that video, Liverpool Football Club were chasing a quadruple. Yep. This is the reality. Liverpool Football Club were chasing a quadruple. And in that season, Mane was our striker, not Firmino. So that what I said in that statement also remains true. With Ivan Toney, though, he has stepped up his level. Last season was the best season we ever saw of Ivan Toney. This wasn't coming yet. This current Ivan Toney, this current version of Ivan Toney that we watched last season is the best version of him we have ever seen. Now, will he be a Firmino replacement? No. Do I take him at Liverpool? Yes, but not to replace Firmino. I'd play him up top.
So, based on your reaction back then, looking at it now, don't you think I was ahead of the curve?
No. Liverpool were just at a higher level at the time. That was Arsenal that finished 5th, by the way. That wasn't even an insult.
Yeah.
Arsenal finished 5th at the time, and Liverpool were trying to win it all. So obviously it was different for us. But yeah, I think at the time my statement is true. Right now it's different because Ivan Toney got better, and the Liverpool forwards considerably got worse. So Ivan Toney is an upgrade on everyone at Liverpool other than Mo Salah. That's a forward right now. That's the reality.
Okay, and then I would take Ivan Toney at Arsenal also. But if you had a choice, basically right now, would you go and spend the money on Ivan Toney in January, or would you go and strengthen your defense or midfield?
Yes, I'm spending my two personal priorities have went from DM and center back to DM and forward right now, because my forwards are letting me down game in, game out, to be honest with you. Ivan Toney starts for Liverpool. Ivan Toney is better than everyone at Liverpool, not called Mo Salah. This is just the ultimate reality. He had, I think, 18, 19 goals last season. Unbelievable last season. And he continues to get better for me. He's a Liverpool fan. He already said it in interviews multiple times. He said it 100 times. So I know he'd love to play for Liverpool Football Club. However, my thing
is spend the 80 million though.
Yeah, this is the thing. It depends on the price tag. For me, the two center backs, the two positions that I need us to sign in January is a center back and a forward. These are the two positions I look at, to be honest with you, because in DM I'm thinking about it now. Back, I can live with McAllister and Endo and Thiago in that position. I can live with it. Is it ideal? No, but can I live with it? Yes. At center back, Matip is out till the end of the season, and Konate is an injury waiting to happen. So what I do not want is another scenario what happened in 2020, 2021, where the center backs are all out and stuff, and we have to play midfielders in center back. So that's the thing that I just do not want. So I think priorities change as the season progresses when we get new opinions. Diaz, Gakpo, Jota, and Nunez have underperformed massively this season. The same forward line that everyone would have agreed is probably the strongest forward line in the league now. No one agrees with that, and rightfully so, because they've all underperformed. So would I take Ivan Toney? Yes. But at the same time, let's all be objective and honest here. Brentford are taking the piss with the price tag they're asking. This is the reality. Bro, no one's giving you 100 million, 80 million for Ivan Toney.
It's their player. It's their player. They look at the market and they say to themselves, nothing in the market makes sense. I blame Manchester United. They're paying this much money for Rasmus Højlund, who has no experience, to the level of Ivan Toney. Even Darwin Nunez, at least he performed in the Portuguese league and in the Champions League slightly. You've seen him perform. How are they spending this much money for an unproven striker? Ivan Toney, they deservedly should say, if Rasmus Højlund's going for this much euros, our man should go for at least this much. And that's not even strays at Man United. Look at Chelsea. They're spending how much money on players that are youngsters for like 20, 30 million. It makes everybody's values go up. If you go to West Ham today and you ask for Paqueta, I wouldn't be surprised if they said 100 million. If you go to Brentford, they don't need the money. That's the thing. Yes. That's why we have a problem.
Manchester United have ruined the market for all of us. This is the reality.
And Chelsea.
There's stupid, Manchester United more. There's stupid decisions over the last 10 years because they've spent as much money, if not more money, than Manchester City, and they're nowhere near them.
Rice was worth every penny. For anybody to sit there and tell me Rice is not worth it when you see Caicedo and Enzo going for similar prices and not performing, you're crazy. Unknown. What are we doing here?
No. Egal is 100% right. And first of all, Rice was 105, not 115. I like how you guys add money whenever you feel like it to certain players.
Yeah, it's the Hamza effect.
Yeah, it's the Hamza effect, honestly. But anyway, yeah, Man United have ruined the market ever since the Pogba transfer. They've just ruined the market for everyone. This is the reality, them and Chelsea. Manchester United out here spending money like crazy, buying Rasmus Højlund for 72 million. So obviously when you call Brentford and you go like, I want Ivan Toney, they're going to go like, wait a minute, this random Danish guy just got bought for 70-something million. So why should we sell him for any less? Now, the reality is we all have to pay for Manchester United and Chelsea's stupidity. This is just the ultimate reality of the market. 115 million for Caicedo. So let's say, what's his name? The guy, his name starts with a B that plays for Brighton in midfield. I forgot his name.
I don't know.
Bro, Baleba. If Baleba had a very good season this season, then, maybe he's now worth 70-80 million just because of Chelsea's stupidity. So, yeah, this is the thing. This is the thing. Unfortunately, we have to pay for their crimes in the market. Ivan Toney is not worth 80. This is the reality.
But let's talk about transfers though for a second. We spoke about what you need. Arsenal, yes. I'll tell you straightforward, bro. We need three things. Another defender. We need obviously Cedric's going to be leaving. Some of these youngsters have not cut the mustard yet to be playing week in, week out, like a Roy Walters. You probably don't even know who he is. Our midfield, Roy Walters. He's like our fourth choice defender at this moment in time, with Tomiyasu and Timber out. His peak.
Okay.
Then you go to midfield. Everyone talks about midfield needing to be a priority, and I agree. But that's because if Thomas Partey leaves. If Thomas Partey stays, there's no way we're going to get another midfielder. The only way I see us getting another midfielder is if we somehow can move off Thomas Partey's contract, because he's still one of our highest paid players, and he hasn't kicked the ball more than 5 times this season. So that's a problem. And then the striker, you want to know something, bro? Striker might be the least of our issues coming out of the January window. Because
I disagree with that.
With AFCON and with the Asian Cup coming along, Tomiyasu, Timber's injury, and everything else that's going on, I think our attack is good enough. I think if we can strengthen our midfield and our defense, we can go and sign a big striker in the summer. Going and spending big in the January window on a striker, someone might end up trying to hold us hostage, like Shakhtar tried to do with Mudryk last year.
Hey, that was the biggest blessing in disguise possibly in Premier League history. When you got Trossard and they got Mudryk, that was a blessing in disguise right there. Look, with the general transfer market, I still disagree with you. I think Arsenal definitely need a forward for me. That's the one position that you need more than above anything else, because forwards win you games, because strikers win you games, because goals win you games. I think Ivan Toney is a considerable upgrade on Jesus, because he scores the goals that Jesus misses, and he can create for others as well just by him being Ivan Toney. That frees up space for everyone else. Luiz, you spent 1 billion on your 10th. Honestly, you're the biggest embarrassment in Premier League history.
Bro,
so anyway,
I seen you guys talking about bigger clubs, bro. If Chelsea were a big club, the way that they would be treated right now in the media would be completely different. Think about it.
I mean,
if this was Arsenal or Liverpool, they would get crucified by the media.
No, 100%. I agree with you completely. If it was Arsenal or Liverpool or Manchester United, those three clubs always get scrutinized by the media differently. But for me, I look at this general transfer market, and if from the outside looking in, I might be wrong, but from outside looking in, definitely Manchester United. Arsenal, sorry, they need a striker more than they need anything else for me. Striker is the main position.
People being shameless. Douglas Luiz, Onana definitely improved this team massively. Big up selection. Let's go to selection. How do you cope with Arsenal's press? Egal, I think Klopp is going to build up is good enough to handle it. To me, you guys have to do what you always do. Bypass our press by going through the wings. You go through the wings, you don't go through the middle. If you try to play the games through the middle, you're going to lose. The reality is our strength is in the middle. Your strength is in the wide areas. Now, I don't think you're going to see the same level of mistakes, kamikaze defending that you used to see before, leading to Mo Salah getting a pass back from a left back for an open goal, or Jota.
Zinchenko will play though, and that is your weakness. You know that.
I hear you. But you want to know something? With Zinchenko playing, it makes me think that they're going to go Declan Rice on the left side as the left 8 and Jorginho in the midfield. So that is how I think we're going to set up. I think the way we're going to set up is similar to how we set up against Man City. So you're going to have Zinchenko left back. In front of him, you're going to have Declan Rice, and you're going to also have Martinelli. You know, like everyone else seen, Martinelli's work rate from a left wing position. The two players in front of Zinchenko will help out so much massively in that situation. So you'll have somebody who will actually track Trent. You'll have somebody who will actually help out in Declan Rice. And you're going to also have Jorginho in the midfield, because I don't think your midfield is a midfield that plays through teams. Your strength, you don't go through the midfield through teams. So we won't be as susceptible with a Jorginho in the midfield. And then on the right side,
weak. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Your midfield is much better. Actually, if I'm doing a combined 11, I don't think any Liverpool midfielder starts for Arsenal, to be honest with you.
You know what? I was going to talk about combined 11. So you're saying goalkeeper, obviously we know. It's not a question, right?
When I did my own personal one, I got 1, 2, 5, 6 Arsenal players and 5 Liverpool players. That's what
Really?
That was my combined 11. Yes. And I took the left back position though. That's one thing I will not.
Wait. Who did you put in left back?
Tsimikas. If you're watching Liverpool, you know he's been one of our better players. He's been way better than Zinchenko.
Let's start from the beginning. Alisson Becker's in.
Of course.
By the way, Alan said he's the best goalkeeper this season has been Vicario.
No, he hasn't. And Spurs fans, you know what it is? Spurs fans found their voice after winning 1 game in 6. They found their voice again. So, you know, with Spurs fans, look, even Bissouma is just getting sent off so he could get sent off to holiday and just not play for your shit club. So let's not do this whole Vicario is better than Alisson. Vicario cannot lace Alisson's boots. The same saves that Vicario made, Alisson would have made, and Alisson would have made even more saves than Vicario made. Let's just cut the crap here.
Okay, let's do this team. Are you putting Trent in over Ben White? Of course, right?
Of course, yes. Best right back in the league this season. If you watch Kieran Trippier, he's been making mistake after mistake after mistake. If you watch Kyle Walker, he's been making mistake after mistake after mistake. Reece James's fitness is non-existent because he's always injured. So he's by definition the best right back in the league is Mo Salah. Is Trent.
We're putting Van Dijk and Saliba, no question.
Yes, no argument there, 100%.
I think definitely Zinchenko should get in over Tsimikas.
Nope. Sorry, this one I will argue. Tsimikas over Zinchenko 100% because I'm giving Arsenal all 3 midfielders. So what I will not do is also give them the left back because Tsimikas for me has been better than Zinchenko. Tsimikas ever since the international break. If you are actually actively watching Liverpool Football Club, Tsimikas has been one of our better players, if not our best player. You know, in most games. Manchester City away, locked up their winger, going forward, everything you need him to do, doing on the pitch. Fulham, incredible. The game against Sheffield, incredible. Even the game against Manchester United, he locked up Anthony. He was always overlapping, trying to create dangerous chances for me. Anytime I see Arsenal concede a goal, it's almost 90% Zinchenko's fault. So
okay, we'll put Tsimikas in there. Are you putting Havertz and Rice? What are you doing?
Based on form right now, I'd be a liar if I say any Liverpool midfielder starts for Arsenal. I think
if you put Havertz, Rice, Odegaard.
Yeah, you could put Havertz in there because based on form, because same way I put Tsimikas in, based on form, Havertz has been playing really well last 5-6 games. So I'm not just gonna bypass that because Havertz is a haha laughing name. I don't give a fuck. He's been playing much better than our midfielders. This is the reality.
Wow. Okay, and then finally, the front 3. Salah, Jesus, and do we makeshift Saka to the left? What you saying?
Yes, that is for me the perfect one right there. Salah on the right, Saka on the left, Jesus down the middle. I cannot claim any of our forwards start other than Mo Salah. This is the reality. Like, who you want me to put in there? Diaz, who got 3 goals in 16. Who you want me to put in there? Nunez, who has 2 goals since August. Like, it's just we're in December and New Year is about to start. So I cannot really make a claim for any other than these 5 And the Simicast one, it's based on form, same way the Havertz one is based on form. So we're not putting players in there.
That's what I have right there.
Yeah, I have no problem with that, to be honest with you. I know some people might say Szoboszlai over Havertz, but Szoboszlai's performances since the international break have been dreadful. Gravenberch is hit and miss. The one guy I actually will make a claim for that could make this team is actually our most underrated player this whole season and been our best midfielder this whole season. That's McAllister. Problem is he's injured.
McAllister was getting roasted by your own fans earlier this week.
Remember when I was defending him? Every time you guys asked me McAllister, I kept defending him and defending him and defending him because I know it's not his fault. I know it's not his fault. McAllister, the position we're in, 100% not his fault. So, yeah.
Okay. By the way, I'm getting cooked online today because did you see what I did? There was a post. There was a post that happened on Twitter where this guy was.
Not see because I'm not on Twitter. I did not see what he posted.
What happened with that, bro? You said Twitter days are done.
Yeah, I just have to handle my business in real life. You know, kind of couple of things I have to do, so I just deactivated.
Okay, I'm gonna show you then, just so you know what's going on. Give you a quick update because I was getting cooked today. For this statement. Basically, this guy, you've probably seen this guy before,
yes.
Right?
Yo, wait. Y'all think you have a better 11 than Real Madrid? What are you laughing at? I'm laughing at Arsenal.
He's laughing at Arsenal because Arsenal fans told him that we have a better starting 11 than Real Madrid, right? And then when it comes time to do a combined 11, he says, forget that. Let's just compare Champions Leagues. And he says, oh, how many Champions Leagues do they have? 14. How many do Arsenal have? 0. By then, they have a better team than you. I'm like, we're not talking about that. It was the most pointless thing. And then I went on and I did a whole combined 11. And then people got mad because I did a combined 11 where I put both.
Show me your combined 11, and then I'll tell you if you're wrong or not.
Yeah, I went nuts. I'll show you, man.
If you have more than 3 Arsenal players in there, you're being disingenuous.
Well, I have 7.
Oh my God, you're wrong immediately without even seeing it.
Where is it?
You're wrong.
And bro, the worst part about it is instead of putting Chouameni, I put Mudryk. Madrid.
Days.
That's what I did.
Such a fraud. You're such a fraud.
Yeah, that was the team. It was a bad team.
And you put Rodrigo, not even Vinicius?
No, because Rodrigo's been better than Vinicius.
Oh my days. Rodrigo's not been better than Vinicius. Vinicius is still the
I didn't put Courtois because he's injured. I didn't put the other center back because he's injured.
Obviously, the goalkeeper, you're fighting against Kepa and the other guy, Lunin or whatever the hell his name is.
Mendy's shit, so I put Zini. Carvajal's having a good season.
No. Whoa. I'm taking Ferland Mendy over Zinchenko, so let's just get that out of the way. Second of all, no, he's not. He's actually a very good defender. I'm not taking Gabriel. Have some shame for Rudiger and Alaba because they have the best defense in the entire La Liga. So one of them has to get in there. The right back for me, like I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, problem is for Real Madrid, low-key Vasquez has been playing lately. So listen, I can hear it, Ben White. Your midfield should be Chouameni. It should be Bellingham. It should be Camavinga. That's the midfield 3. Chouameni, Bellingham, Camavinga. Arsenal relax a little bit. And the forward line, Vinicius. Bukayo Saka starts 100%. And
Rodrigo?
Yeah, you could put Rodrigo down the middle, to be honest with you. That would be my one. So for me, I'd say, you know what? Even if I were to give Arsenal Rice based on performances, that would be Rice, Saliba, Ben White because the right backs are trash, and Raya because their goalkeepers are trash. So that's 4 players. But you cannot step up to Real Madrid yet. That's a club that you need to. That's a difficult club to beat right there. I think them and Manchester City are the 2 favorites for the Champions League.
I think Arsenal's 3rd, ahead of Bayern.
Atletico for me is 3rd.
Then
I don't rate Bayern as highly as people do.
I want to buck Bayern in the Champions League, whoop their ass, and remind everybody that 10-2 was 7 years ago. Stop talking about it.
Yeah, I don't think Bayern are that good, to be honest with you. I think they're very overrated when I've watched them in the Champions League this season. So I'll go Atletico third, probably Inter fourth, and then you and Barcelona fight for fifth.
All right, fair enough. Quickly though, let's just shift back to the big game on the weekend.
Yes.
Anfield away this season. You guys have only dropped points one time against Manchester United. Do you think that was somewhat of a blueprint on how Arsenal should play against you guys?
No, it was not a blueprint because every team parks the bus against us. That's just the reality. You probably have seen teams park the bus against you every game as well. This ain't nothing new. There are 3 clubs in this league that everyone parks the bus against, and that's Manchester City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Other than that, it's not a blueprint. It's not none of that. It's none of that.
So how does Arsenal beat you?
By playing through the middle. That's how Arsenal beat us. Because I think through the middle is where our weakness lies currently. It still is a weakness. Thiago's out, McAllister's out is affecting us. I've defended McAllister for good reason because fundamentally he's our most sound fundamental midfielder. He does everything on the pitch required of him. He doesn't have any specialty, but he's a generalist. He can do everything at a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 level, which is kind of what we're missing right now. We need someone who could pass, who could shoot, who could create, who could dribble at a 7 out of 10 level. So we kind of need that, to be honest with you. So for me, I'm looking at McAllister as a massive miss for us. I don't think Endo can cope with Arsenal. I don't think the way Szoboszlai has been playing, Curtis Jones, shit like that, it's going to be difficult. So Arsenal have to play down the middle. The only silver lining for us is Arsenal will, even if they're not as offensive as they were before, Arsenal will still be more offensive than Man United were. So by definition, we're going to get counter-attacking opportunities, which is probably our biggest strength.
Man.
Yeah, Thiago is a hologram at this point. So it really depends. Big up, Jamie. It depends, honestly, like what if we decide to counter-attack, if we take our chances or not, because, you know, maybe Nunez could run in behind, Gakpo could run in behind, whoever could run in behind, and we could get chances. But
the way you beat us is if you can find a way to isolate Zinchenko on that left side once again. Because that's how you beat us last time. That's how you ended up coming back in the game last time. Isolating Zinchenko, playing through the wings, trying to avoid the midfield, and basically bypass the midfield. Similar to what Chelsea did in the first half against us also. They bypassed the midfield, attacked Zinchenko, and continuously found Sterling in behind or whoever else in behind. So that is the way you can exploit us. Our weakness is actually one of our strengths, which is our left back being more of a ball playing center midfielder than he is an actual left back. But everyone in the comment section, do me a favor, hit that like button right now. If I'm worried about one player in your team, it's not Mo Salah, it's actually Trent, because Trent's ability to play the ball, to make a pass, to actually dead set pieces, dead balls, his ability to impact the game from 3 different levels makes him more of a threatening piece for me. So if he's rested versus West Ham, that would be the best player to rest, because you could rotate him out and still have a semi-decent team and win versus West Ham. But if you think you're going to win the game with your midfield, I'm not too worried. If you think you're going to win the game with Mo Salah one-on-ones the whole time, we will just continue to withstand the pressure. The person who could break open the game out of nowhere with one pass is Trent. And I just find it laughable when people keep talking about his defending. You see me on streams with you all the time. Why are we talking about someone's defending when their biggest game changer is their right foot? Like, are we going to talk about
and they exaggerate his defending as well. People act like this season, as an example, out of like the 20 games that Trent's played already, he's had like 2 bad defensive games, like in the entire season. So people always exaggerate, because here's the thing you need to realize. When Trent locks up Mitoma, you don't see people go to Twitter, go directly, oh, Trent locked up Mitoma, tweet. You know why? Because it doesn't get retweets, it doesn't get likes, it doesn't get interactions. But the one time a Luton player dribbles past him, oh my God, Trent can defend. So I feel like it's just been drilled into people's heads that Trent can defend. I've watched Manchester City, I've watched Newcastle strongly over the last 4 or 5 games. I have seen Trippier and Walker make mistakes that if Trent made, it would be headline news, newspaper news. He's been the best right back in the league this season. I think from both perspectives, defensively he's improved massively this season, been unbelievable. That's why when people were being extremely reactionary last season regarding Trent, he had a horrible season. That does not mean that I wanted him sold or gone or whatever. Trent was unbelievable for me. So Trent Alexander Arnold is definitely the best right back in the league. He's a game changer, and he has to invert on Saturday. We have no choice because our midfield is too weak. We cannot leave our midfield 3-on-3 versus Arsenal. I actually proposed we play a diamond just so our counter attack is a bit better. Maybe play Salah and Nunez up top together for countering attacking opportunities. So I think
no Cody Gakpo, no Darwin Nunez. What happened to Cody Gakpo? Actually, I'll get to that in a second. People hit that like button. Big up some people in the comment section. I see a lot of people that are regulars here in the chat. Do me a favor, let's hit that like button. Let's get to at least 200 likes. Actually, we're not even at. Are we at 100 yet? Let me know. What is Block Club from having space in transition, and we have a fighting chance. Arsenal should take the flank, Saka, Simican, and Trent when inverted. The thing is, Saka hasn't been taking people on one-on-one. He's kind of been getting double-teamed a lot throughout the season. So even if you send 2-3 people at him, he's starting to get more used to that. If I find a situation where it's one-on-one with Saka, he's going to create a chance from that. And it depends on if somebody's in the box. And lately, Kai Havertz has been making those runs, those should I say, maybe some people will call this blasphemy, but who's that former Manchester United player who's constantly being linked to similarities to Berbatov? Berbatov, if you didn't see, he was speaking about Kai Havertz and how his runs and how he moves on the pitch is very similar to him. And it's like, he said it. I didn't say it. He said it. Husam, I don't know why you're making that face. Did you not see the clip?
Hey, Havertz has been playing well last 4 or 5 games, but Berbatov is insane. I'm not even listen.
Berbatov
sometimes sometimes I just listen to what certain old footballers say, and I'm just like, yo, there's a reason why you're not a coach. There's a reason why you've not. It's just that's just blasphemous. Listen,
he's talking about how nonchalant how he is on the pitch, how he just makes the pass, makes the move, and just keeps going with.
Yeah, he's very aesthetically pleasing to watch, but performances since the international break, I would say, the last international break, Havertz has been very good for Arsenal, even without the goals. He's performed well, so that's the one thing I'd give him. That's why when you put him in the combined 11, I didn't say shit because he deserves to be there. But if I'm saying overall, then definitely not. He still has a long way to go, to be honest with you. As when it comes to selections, super chat, I actually disagree completely. I think our biggest weakness currently is in midfield. It's not on the flanks. It's the midfield. It's the midfield. It's the midfield. It's the midfield.
But why don't you want a midfield signing first?
No, I do want a midfield signing. The problem is, if McAllister was there, then he would be right, because McAllister makes us significantly stronger. That's the thing. So, like, I want a DM, I want a centre back, I want a striker. But the way I'm watching football, the reality is we could destroy every single midfield we come up against, other than City and Arsenal. So it's just the forward line that lets us down in the 17 out of 19 games. So for me, it's just the forward line that kind of needs upgrading alongside the centre back. But yeah, I think midfield definitely needs improving. But I'm saying I could live with Endo and McAllister and Thiago to the end of the season. I cannot live with Darwin, Nunez, Gakpo, Diaz, and Jota scoring less goals combined than Mo Salah. That's what I cannot live with. So yeah, that's what I'll say. I think I'm looking at this current team, and I think what worries me this Saturday is how much control Arsenal will have, because they will keep the ball much better than we will. And their midfield is a lot more balanced than our midfield. And this is just the reality.
What if we give you the ball?
I don't think you will.
And we just say we're going to withstand.
I don't think we are capable of keeping the ball against Arsenal, because Arsenal are a better possession team.
Okay, fair. Moving on to the next topic. If it excludes City, who is more likely to win the Premier League this season, as currently constructed? That's not
as
going
currently
into the January.
Arsenal, 100%. I was the only content creator on Straight Facts. Terry asked us all, who do you think is going to win the league? I was the only guy that said Arsenal. Out of all the people, everyone said City. I said Arsenal going to win the league from early. I think the Declan Rice signing makes a massive difference. Had Liverpool signed Declan Rice this summer, I would say we're going to win the league. The reality is, as currently constructed, Arsenal have a better squad than us. I'm not blinded, by just names on the pitch.
Respectfully, stop mentioning Aston Villa. Stop.
Don't even. Please stop, please. We've seen this with Leicester before. We've seen it with multiple clubs. Anyway, yeah, Arsenal for me have a better squad than us. We probably maybe have a better starting 11 when everyone's fit, but squad nowhere near. Like our squad is just not good, to be honest with you. Not as good as Arsenal squad as currently constructed. Arsenal have a better chance of winning the league. That's why this January transfer window is make or break for us.
Facts. For everybody, City need to go into the January transfer window and improve massively too. City are about to get Kevin De Bruyne back, Erling Haaland, and all these guys, and they're going to have Rodri, who's not suspended. Do you think they make the similar runs to they've done the last couple of years, or are people just kind of being hopeful based on the history?
I don't think Manchester City win the league this season. I don't think they win the league. I'm not going to write them off because they are Manchester City and their manager is Pep Guardiola. I'm not going to write them off, but at the same time, I don't think they win the league this season because I said it from the start. Look, when you win back-to-back leagues, you win a treble, you've achieved everything you want to achieve in football. This is just the reality. So by definition, your motivation levels aren't going to be as high. Your I want it all, your win it all mindset won't be there if you would like. And I think they have considerably downgraded in terms of game winners that they have, in terms of players who can rise in the big occasion. Gundogan, Mahrez, players like that. You know, these players are all important players for them that just kind of left Manchester City, and they haven't upgraded on them, which is something Manchester City do. So Manchester City usually would sell a Gundogan and then buy a Musiala. So they would just basically destroy the league again. But they didn't do that this season. They went and you know, they just kind of downgraded, to be honest with you. Matheus Nunez, who even the Liverpool fan base didn't even want, a lot of them. Kovacic, who the Chelsea fans wanted to get rid of, and they're like, they even a lot of them were shocked that he even went to Manchester City. They thought he might go to a mid-table club. So for me, I'm looking at the City side, and I think even with KDB and Haaland, I still don't think they will win the league. I think they will win the Champions League, though. I've already said they're going to go back-to-back in the UCL, but they won't win the Premier League.
Okay. Just before we go to the predictions for the game, I was just going to ask you about one more thing. Just so you know, Mikel Arteta, 4 years now since he's officially joined Arsenal. He joined Arsenal on the 20th of December, 2019. I still remember the day. I was working at some other place, and one of my colleagues told me, yeah, you got a new manager, it's Arteta. And now that we have Mikel Arteta, Husam, I believe the way that you win and you build success now in the Premier League, and has been the standard since the beginning of the Premier League, but only the abnorm of Chelsea sacking managers and still winning happened. That's the outlier. That's not the rule. What is now happening is people are finally realizing consistency at the top helps you sustain success. Liverpool, Klopp. You guys had an opportunity to move on from him, but you realized you had the right guy. You kept him, and you ended up getting trophies. Pep coming into Man City, sustained success for a long time period. Arteta has not yet won the major trophies, but he's built a team that was from absolutely nowhere near this mess from top to bottom. We had Ivan Gazidis and Arsene Wenger leave. Then we had Sven Mislintat and Raul Stanelli. Then we had Edu and Arteta come in and finally steadied the ship. We had an ownership change also at the time where we had a part owner in Usmanov selling fully to Kroenkes. And so much has happened in these 4 years, but the level of stability we now have, I think this is the new gold standard, and more people will probably stick with their managers and try to find a winning formula than be as quick to just sack them going forward. And I know it's not just Arteta. There's other managers who've done this too, but I think more people look at Arteta as an example on how people should maybe give people more time and stick with them. Do you think that's crazy? Because today, Manchester United came out with a statement stating they're trying to focus on culture and make decisions similar to what Arsenal did, cutting ties with some of their dead wood.
No. I don't think that's crazy at all. I think the reality is you need to have a consistent structure, a consistent kind of people who are there at the football club. And I think that's what kind of gives you success, to be honest with you. And for me, I'm looking at the Arsenal team. I'm kind of looking at, like, how can I say this? I'm looking at the two teams that probably gave City the toughest run for their money last 5 years. Obviously, Liverpool have actually won the league, so that's why maybe the process is a bit different and better. But the Arsenal process, you could
what
see
year
steady.
did you win the league? What year did you win the league? 4th year or 5th year?
Oh, we won the Champions League in the year before, so that counts as a major success as well.
So 4 years, you won the trophy.
3 years into Klopp's reign, his first full, exactly what happened is his first full season top 4, second season top 4 and a Champions League final, third season Champions League winner, fourth season Premier League winner. That's
Mikel
essentially
Arteta in his third season challenged for the league. Fourth season is now challenging for the league again to show that it's not a fluke. And hopefully we can go and win it this year.
Yeah, so you need to win something this season. This is the reality. You must win something this season.
I understand that.
But stability is key, though. And players are now noticing. And I'll just say one thing. Look, I know many players care about money. They don't care about anything else. But the players that do care about their future, the characters that you would like to have at your football club to begin with, are now looking at the likes of Manchester United, looking at the likes of Chelsea and going like, I don't want to go to that cesspit. This is the reality. If you're a football player and you're looking at what's going on at all these football clubs, Moises Caicedo cannot sleep. I'm sure in the last 6 months, he's probably slept like 3 times well. Other than that, he cannot sleep unless his aim is money. Because he's thinking in his mind, why the fuck did I turn up at Chelsea? Why? He's thinking, and you know, Chelsea fans will always deny this and they'll do this whole big club and blah, 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 all this crap. No one cares. He cannot sleep for the last 6 months because every time he wakes up, he's like, I should have went to Liverpool because I could have been top of the league with them right now. I would have elevated them to a league title. You know, we could have won something together. I would be in a title race. So it would have affected his career positively. I would have been playing under Jurgen Klopp. All the things that I said in the summer, better teammates, you know. So this is just.
Do you remember people used to say Klopp should leave after you lost? Yeah. So many times.
But people were very reactionary. Some of my own fan bases were very reactionary, and also rivals are very reactionary. Same way people are saying shit what they're saying about Mo Salah right now. Like it's just people, class players, class managers will always prove their worth. And had Liverpool, by the way, just signed a DM and a centre back last summer, we would be top of the league right now comfortably because we drew 6 games. Even if we just won half of them, we'd be like 6-7 points ahead of everyone else. So yeah, for me, I believe in Klopp. I trust in Klopp. I just need the owners to back him this January window. We do not need another Ben Davies, Ozan Kabak transfer window, to be honest with you. But stability is very important. It's very important for the culture. It's very important for all of that because players now cannot down tools and expect for the manager to go and just sit there and go like, oh yeah, the manager's going to go. We're going to get a new guy, some fresh ideas and blah, blah, blah. And this is why Chelsea should stick with Pochettino, in my opinion, because the average age of the squad is 13, yet you think Chelsea fans think they could get Mourinho in there. Mourinho cannot manage these kids. It just does not make sense. So this is the reality.
Okay, so let's end it off. Everyone in the comment section, we got over 280 of you guys. Do me a favor. First, hit the like on the video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. And also, if you guys don't know Husam's channel, go check it out. This is football. The link is in the title of the video. Now, there are so many different ways this game could go, and we're going to discuss that. I just want to quickly say Peter Walton for bringing up Arteta and Klopp in our conversation with the referee situation in Turkey is a shame, and it's embarrassing that they even do that. I always see our managers getting dragged into everything. It just shows the platform that they have as managers. Now, I was going to talk about that, but I don't think I have enough time on that. Let's just move on to the game, though. I'm looking at this game, and I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a large score margin at all. Liverpool fans who are saying it's going to be 2-3-0 them, or Arsenal fans saying we're going to win convincingly, they're crazy. These games are always come down to small margins.
This game will not be convincing or entertaining for anyone. This is going to be a tactical battle and a warfare on the pitch. This is just how it goes. People always say this. I don't get why guys, when two good teams play, you do not get 4-3s.
But the thing is,
you get 4-3s when 2 shit teams play. That's when you get 4-3s.
The thing is, our teams play different styles. So it's going to be a battle to see which style comes out on top. If you play in the middle, we win. If we play in the wide ends and we just try to defend the wide spaces and not really try to play to our strengths, you're going to win. It's going to come down to who does what. Is it going to be a defensive showcasing from yourselves and you face the pressure, or is it going to be a defensive showcasing from us? Are we going to be mentally switched on? Because last year emotions got the better of us, and one player.
Granit Xhaka should just be quiet, you know.
Yeah. Then you also have a situation where you should look at your own team and say, why did it take the crowd to get you guys going? You guys should have been better from the beginning also. So it's like you can look at it from many different perspectives, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go into this game expecting my team to know that they're going to have to suffer, and they're going to go into this game knowing that they're going to be suffering for 90 minutes. And if they get anything positive, they're going to try to hold on to it with any living, breathing moment. And I think both teams are really good at set pieces. So don't be surprised if no open play goals take place in this game, and they're both from set pieces, in my opinion. So I'm going with
definitely set piece goals is on the table. First of all, I hope no VAR controversy happens, because in between myself and Egal there are 3 losses, and all 3 losses have VAR controversies in them. The Spurs game, absolute farce when it comes to VAR decisions. The Newcastle game as well, when it comes to Joe Linton was literally riding, Gabriel, should have been a foul. With the Aston Villa game, Douglas Luiz and Mateta very comparable when it comes to penalties and stuff. So, look, I just hope the referees just get their shit together for this game, and there's no controversy. I hope so, at least. I just want a clean game where we can just watch a good game of football. But games like this are very, very, very tight. Games like this are not games that are, I'm seeing people saying 3-2s, 4-3s, shit like that. Games like this don't happen. And actually, when you look at it, both clubs' strength right now is defensive, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, let me just quickly check. I actually think
we're both tied. We're both
tied for strongest defense in the league. No, let me just quickly double check. Arsenal have conceded 15 goals. Liverpool have conceded 15 goals. So yeah, our goal difference is only +1, actually, funnily enough, than you. So we've only scored 1 more goal than Arsenal. Have we scored 1 more goal than Arsenal? Yeah, we have only scored 1 more goal than Arsenal. So that's the thing. I'm just looking at it like a defensive game, to be honest with you. I think Liverpool will be a bit more controlled. And look, my prediction for a game is a tactical game, and it's going to be the same result we've had in any top 6 game this season. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. That's my prediction. I'm going for a draw. I think both teams will cancel each other out. If Mo Salah turns up, then we can win. If he doesn't, then it ends in a draw. That's my honest opinion. I think a draw is probably the most fair result. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. And I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if it's a 0-0 draw either.
I'm going for a 1-0 to Arsenal. I'm thinking we are going to go there, and people think Mikel Arteta is a very progressive manager. At times, I find that he's very more pragmatic than people find him. I see more Jose in Arteta than I do Arsene Wenger at times. That's crazy to say, but I think that's what we're going to do. And we know last year we learned a valuable lesson last year. 2-0 lead, we thought the game was done. I think this year we're going to do the opposite. I think we're going to grind it out, and switch into gear when it's time for us to try to take the game home and win it. But yeah, we're both never going to say the other team's going to win or this is going to happen. But this is going to be the best matchup we've faced each other since I've known you, at least, or we've known each other.
The most balanced one, definitely.
Yeah, I thought every time you guys came into a game against us, you expected to win, except for that game last year at the Emirates where I expected to win. And hey, guess what? We're going to meet each other 3 times in next month. We play each other in the FA Cup, and we play each other at the Emirates. So it's going to be entertaining. But yeah, Husam, I appreciate you jumping on, bro. Guess what? I'm not going to get to watch the game live at home. I'm not going to be able to do a match reaction. So don't think I'm hiding if anything goes wrong. I'm working this whole week for the next 4 days. So I'm gonna be on your show on Monday. I'll catch you then.
Yeah, A-listers.
Yeah, you guys have yourselves a wonderful day. And guys, don't forget to check out Husam's channel. This is football. We're gonna be there on A-listers on Monday. I'll be back on Sunday. I'm not gonna be doing a video until Sunday. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and big up Husam. And I'll definitely catch you guys on the next show. Love for the love, people. Don't forget to hit that like button too before we go. Peace, people. You already know what it is.